Hello, this is John with Real Property Management. Today we're going to review the 5 things that rent your property. Let's correct that. There are really only 4 things that rent your property, but we'll find out what those 5 things are and why one of them has no bearing. So as I said, there are really only 4 things that matter when renting your property. Let's go through them. First of all, location. You cannot change your location, but you can certainly emphasize the advantages of the location and include all the details about nearby amenities, the things that really matter. For instance, proximity to public transportation. This could be freeways or bus routes or metro stations, things that would make somebody want to live there so that they have convenient route to work in the morning. Nearby shopping, dining, maybe even highlight new restaurants, or trending restaurants. Entertainment venues could be golf facilities or pickleball or things that may provide some movie theaters, things of that nature. Parks, school districts, which school district it is, and perhaps some of their ratings. Make sure that you only list publicly available information and not opinions when it comes to schools. Neighborhoods, the desirability of the neighborhood, maybe the tree-lined streets or the architectural character of the houses in the neighborhood. And then also consider the needs of different renters, whether it be students and how close it is to colleges, or healthcare professionals and how close it is to the hospitals, young professionals and how close it might be to downtown or public transportation. Families, although again, be careful not to discriminate against familial status, which is protected by federal and state law. And retirees, things such as how close it is to healthcare or other facilities. Number 2 is the condition. So let's talk about the condition. You as an individual, as a landlord, can actually control the condition of the property. Your A+ tenants want to be proud of the home that they live in. The quality of the applicant is directly related to the quality of the condition. We have found that A+ residents are attracted to A+ properties, and C residents will be satisfied with C quality properties. Therefore, in order to get the best residents, you need to present the best property. Let's talk about that. Curb appeal. This is painting your house in a color that's current and contemporary. A lot of older houses have older colors that just aren't considered contemporary these days. Tidy up the landscape, trim the bushes, trees, pressure wash the siding, the driveways, the walkways, get all the mildew and crud off the driveways. Spider treatment. You don't want to walk up to the front of the house and see that there's a spider there welcoming you. Fencing, maybe add a fence to create some space, define some space, or fix the fence or replace the fence. House numbers, oddly enough, will make the house more attractive. Attend to any roof gutter issues, and a new mailbox, which seems a little strange, but the first thing a resident's going to see is the mailbox, and if it's worn out and shabby and falling apart, that's an indicator to them that perhaps the landlord is not tending to the maintenance of the inside of the property. Painting, use fresh paint. Don't reuse old paint. Use renter-friendly colors and sheen, something that's durable. Make sure that those colors, again, are contemporary and are neutral. You don't want colors that are too bold unless it's architecturally fitting to the property. Window coverings, we recommend you remove all blinds and shades and replace with curtain rods. The quick hang system, which you can find on Amazon, is our preferred method. And you don't want blinds and shades because they're usually cheap, they break. The plastic ones deteriorate in sunlight and therefore only last about a year and a half and break. And it's always a dispute as to who broke these things. And so We want to remove them all and just install a curtain rod for $10 and then move on with allowing the resident to provide their own curtains. Flooring, get rid of the carpet. It may sound expensive, but trust me, in the long run, the hard surface flooring will last 5, 6 times longer than carpet, and you'll have a lot less issues. You'll save more money. I did a whole video on things that you can do to increase your profit on rentals, and flooring replacement is one of them. Appliances, clean thoroughly, upgrade if worn out. These are the things that people use every single day. And because they're using them every day, they want them clean, they want them functional, and they want to have something that looks nice with the kitchen. So stainless is the preferred. And stay away from many of the brands that have a history of failures. We like the American built products, the American companies. They tend to have stronger performance and fewer problems. Deodorize, remove odors and sources of odors, mustiness, food cooking odors, anything that would be obnoxious. Redevice, this is replacing light fixtures and faucets, get rid of all the polished brass out of the house, replace the door knobs and the cabinet pulls and hinges. These are things that are very inexpensive to do, relatively speaking, and yet produces a very nice result in the end. And then don't forget your laundry rooms and utility rooms. People don't want to be doing their laundry in dirty, spiderweb infested laundry rooms or utility rooms. You want to clean them up, paint them, new lighting, brighten them up. It's particularly the laundry room, but even the utility room. All the clutter should be out of there, vacuum back in the corners. Um, Undoubtedly, there's mice droppings and other things that you want to get out of there. You want to clean up and present a utility room as neat and orderly, bright, so that we can inspect and repair and identify problems, and certainly um, have the laundry room the same, clean. Get all the stuff out from behind the washer and dryer, all the lint and what have you. All right, 3 is exposure. Now this is something we control. So you can't really control location, but you can highlight the benefits. You control the condition. It's really a function of making your property shine. And we control the exposure. Uh, there are over 100 rental websites targeting unique renters, and Zillow is just one of them. And the more exposure you have, the greater volume of A+ applicants you will see on your listing. If all you do is use Zillow, you're going to miss out on a significant amount of the prospects. So number 1, photos, professional grade photos with bracketed exposures. That's a camera system that allows you to take 5 or 6 exposures. I think it goes up to 8, that will eliminate your shadows, brighten up your rooms, and bring the outside in by eliminating all the glare. Proper angles. Many times I see photos, that look like the house is triangular shaped or a tipsy house because the way that the camera angle was. It's just you have to pay attention to the angles. And then declutter. It's okay to have some furniture and wall hangings, but get all the loose items out of your photos. And we found that twilight photos can generate 30% more click-throughs. Those are photos of the outside that are taken with sunsets and sunrises in the image. Floor plans, renters need to know if their king bed or sectional sofa will fit. They want to know if it'll go up the stairs. Unlike people buying houses, many times, renters actually drag all their furniture with them, and they don't buy new furniture to fit the house. And therefore, they need to know if the stuff they already have is going to fit. So a floor plan is very important. 3D tours also provides a sense of space, gives people a way to view the property. but also for your international renters and people coming from out of town. The 3D tour will uh, attract significantly more click-throughs and will rent your unit faster. We've determined that is clearly a driver in renting a property faster. Avoid your social media. You just get a lot of nonsense that comes through. Lots of inquiries, but very, very low follow through. The multiple listing service can attract insurance displacement residents. These are residents that have had a fire, they've lost their home, maybe a storm damage, and they're today sitting in a hotel, and they're waiting for their insurance company to help them out. And the nice thing about this is that many times you can extract a much higher rent from these residents because it's such an emergency situation. If your property's vacant, we can move them in today and command a much higher rent to cover additional costs as well as just more profit. And then the property manager. What, somehow if you're a do-it-yourself landlord, you need to be able to present this. We certainly do it on our website and our Google ratings. A+ residents are going to avoid do-it-yourself or poorly rated managers because they want a great experience, and they want to know that when there's a problem, such as a furnace failure, a water heater failure, or a refrigerator failure, that's going to get resolved today. That they're not going to wait a week or 2 weeks and wait for some warranty company or some other thing to deal with their issue. They want it to know that they're dealing with a professional. And then certainly refresh your listings weekly to attract new viewers. Okay, finally, number 4, before we get to the 5th one, which doesn't really matter, is your offer. You need to market your property in a way that will attract renters. And the market could care less about your mortgage costs. They only care about what you are offering compared to other options in the market. So how do we price it right, and how do we provide the right elements of the offer? Well, number one, pets. 58%, so almost 2/3 of all renters have animals, and not allowing animals will reduce the demand, and rents will have to be lower than market on these units to compete. Availability. Vacant homes are the best. They allow the greatest flexibility. But also, if you have a situation where you're still living in the property, or we have a tenant that is vacating 3 or 4 months out, it's still good to get that on the market now, because you might be the only one with an availability that's posted, 4 months out. And for somebody looking for that, mostly relocation people, they're going to snap that up. Inclusions, things that you're including, utilities, groundskeeping. These things can appeal to many renters to eliminate the work that they have to do when they're living there. Concessions, your free rent, TV sets, tenant improvements, such as replacing the carpet, things that are requested by the tenants. This is important to pay attention to. Move-in dates, we talked a little bit about that, having flexibility on longer term or shorter term leases, and then the rent price. This is also part of your offer, but the best strategy is to target that rent slightly below market as a way to drive the mass amount of showings so that you have more selection. Okay, finally, time on market. Time on market many times is considered something that will rent a property. If we just leave it at this high price for another month, we will get a renter. Unfortunately, those renters will come and go. Being priced high simply only burns cash, and it just creates a stale listing. So the renters that are searching today are planning to move in 45 days. If you miss that group due to price, you're going to lose at least 1 more month of rent, costing you more than the rent decrease that you were considering. Your target is to have the unit rented within 14 days, and old listings get stale and convince renters that something is wrong, and they move on to other things. Your July renters today have to give their 30-day notice in a couple of weeks, and therefore they're searching, such as a July renter, they're searching in end of April, early May, so that they can give their notice, 30 days usually, sometimes 60, and move in July. So if you miss that bubble of renters just by a couple of days, you're going to lose an entire month of rent and they're not coming back. So when they're searching, you want your property to be on the top of the list because if it's overpriced or has terms that don't make sense to them, they're going to move on. And then you're going to miss an entire population of renters for another month. So that is our position on how to rent properties fast. You're going to want to have that done in 14 days because you don't want to miss the renters, the pool of renters, but also you don't want that listing to get stale. So don't convince yourself that a high price, just because your mortgage rate is higher, is the right strategy. Our recommendation is that what you do is price it to get the renter in today, deal with a higher price at a renewal or when we have an occupied property so that you don't wind up losing money in this transaction. We've done entire videos on calculating the cost of vacancy, and we will include that link at a later date. Thank you. We wish you success in your journey and give us a call if you need any assistance.